Well, welcome to autumn. I've been excited about this time of year again. Like I always am. September, October, when I always look forward to this time of year. Brings out a really quite a, I don't know, just get called back to these places. I'm coming to one place now which I've actually never been to. It's Lordenshaws. Lordenshaws. It's a ancient Iron Age, I think it's an Iron Age Hillfort. It's at least 2,000 years old and quite a lot of significance apparently in the pagan Celtic scheme of the historical past. But so I've come up here today just to have a little explore, check the place out. It's a beautiful day and I'm wrapped up as if it's winter already, but autumn's definitely on its way, and we've got the Autumn Equinox today, Festival of Mabon. I think it's pronounced Mabon, in the old pre-Christian pagan sort of religious festival. So very rusty with this as well. I've not done any of these for quite some time, but I'm going to start exploring a lot more of these places over the coming weeks. I've been away for a lot of the year overseas, and I just wanted to have September and October back in England so I can spend more and more time coming up to these places and just enjoying the simplicity of it, the solitude, the beauty, because I don't know what it is about Northumberland, but I've never been able to let the place go. It's always drawn me back. It's absolutely beautiful. But so anyway, I'm going to head up. I hope I'm on the right track anyway, but it's meant to be around here somewhere. It all looks quite samey. Fernland, grassland, farmland, sheep. So basically, yes, I'm at the top of the Lordenshaw hill, and to be fair, there is unless you know where you're looking, I guess, there's very little to see, because it's best seen from the air. I've looked on some of the aerial photos and you can make out a big concentric fortification and things like that, so it looks really impressive. And apparently like 1,000 people lived here up until like 1,000 years ago. But I'm going to have an explore around, check some of the stones for some of these inscriptions and things which are still totally unknown in terms of what the meaning is, but I don't know whether that might be potentially something on there. But so yeah, anyway, it's a pretty spectacular place for sure. There's Scotland up here, you got the coast that way, and my house is down this way, 40 miles away. So it's still like, it does give spectacular views, there's no getting away from it. Really quiet, all you hear is the wind and sheep. But yeah, there's meant to be these cup and ring stones which are like circular, like motifs, like ceremonial or symbolic and things, but I haven't seen anything just yet, and there's stones scattered all around. So it's quite interesting with it being the Autumn Equinox today, that Festival of Mabon, as I mentioned before. It was probably a very significant place here during these festivals, but yeah. But there's just no one here. No one but sheep and me. And there's meant to also be these burial cairns as well. Like stone mounds marking ancient graves, but I haven't really seen any of them. But there's pathways here where people have obviously walked, but in terms of seeing any form of things cut into the surface, it's difficult to make out. Just lichen and moss on these ones. Yeah, but these are the Cheviots, the mountains here, the Cheviot Hills, not really mountains. Yeah, and I'll say there's North Scotland all the way over there. Well, on the right up past those mountains, those hills. But yeah, people lived here for like thousands of years before Christianity, and they were like completely in tune with the natural environment. Everything revolved around seasons, nature, the moon, the sun, harvests. It's fascinating stuff. Or maybe over here, see where the sheep are. See, there's more of these stones scattered all over. But it's like, I'm not really making anything out. Follow the sheep. But I really want to see these ring and cup and ring stones. You can say from an archaeological point of view, no one really understands what they signify. It's still a bit of a mystery. And I know in certain museums I've been to, I went to a museum up in Newcastle, and they had some of the stones, I believe, from these hillsides, from these ancient like Bronze Age Neolithic sites that they had taken in, and people still scratch their heads as to what the meaning is, but you know, it would just be my luck to be on the wrong mountain, on the wrong hill. But I'm not, because I check Google Maps and I'm on the right place, but and there's nothing on these. That looks a choice one, maybe. The wind's getting up a bit now as that sun's dropped. Temperature's completely changed, has dropped several degrees. Yeah, nothing on there either. Or nothing that I can see. So, yeah, I've got a cold as well, so I feel a bit shaky, but oh, anyway, have a little explore through here. Yeah, that just looks like weathering. That's definitely not man-made in my view. Well, there's definitely going to be no ghosts or paranormal investigations done on this video, because let's say it was only a trip out, I had a free afternoon and I just wanted to come up to some of these places. There's quite a few more that I'm going to go to over the next couple of weeks, but I'll stay here until sunset possibly. Nothing either. Unless someone stole them. Nothing at all. Well, I'm going to have another explore around, and if I find anything I'm going to stick my video back on, but nothing so far. So I was on the main Hillfort, which was up over this brow here. It's a bit further up. And I think I found out it's a little bit better signposted than what I thought it would be, because I believe one of the things I'm looking for is called the main rock. And when I was up on the Hillfort itself, I spotted this thing several hundred meters away. It looks like a main rock, doesn't it? So, and it has a information placards. So head over there, have a quick look, see what it is. Hopefully there'll be some of the inscriptive work on there, which I'm quite keen to see, and spend a bit of time here. But there's 2 or 3 of these little sites dotted around. But yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. Just take a look. Hardly a breath of, well, a little bit of breath of wind, but not a sound. So there we go, found it. This cup and ring marked rock is protected as a monument of national importance under the Ancient Monuments Acts 1913 to 53, Ministry of Public Building and Works. So here we have it. Yeah, you can make out quite a lot of features. See the cups, the rings beautifully put into the rock there. Indents, the way the sun's dropping, the shadows are making it a lot easier to see. Here's another one. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And who would have thought, like, you know, to find these things carved in rocks, and they've been here like thousands of years. 2,000 years at least. Yeah, there's like at least 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I can see. And we can only speculate as to what the importance of these things was, what ceremonies were carried out here, how important it was to them, how often they did these ceremonies, when. Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. So I've came here, Autumn Equinox, the point when day and night are equal. Under the old pagan religious orthodoxy, this would have been the day of the festival of Mabon, the second harvest, I believe. So there it is, there's the sun setting in the west. Sun comes up here, and we've got north this way. Okay, so here's the second or third feature, because the first one was obviously the Hillfort up here where I was, and then the second one is up there, which is the main rock with all of the cup and circle, cup and ring, ring and cup. And then this one is known as the horseshoe rock, and it's quite obvious why. You can see what appears to be like a horseshoe type thing, but it could be anything. It could be a crescent moon, it could be horns. It really does depend on your perspective, doesn't it? Like a lot of things in life. But what is indisputable is you can still see more rings. And those little cups all over the place. And they're catching the light really well. Man, just incredible. These things that have just stood the test of time, like in all the time that humanity has been here, from this sort of very basic way of interacting with the environment, all the way through to recording it on a GoPro all those centuries later. Anyway, enough profound thinking for one afternoon. But it is, it makes you definitely reflect on meaning, for sure. I mean, I look at it and I think, like, what could that be? Are these even separate objects, or are they all like linked together? Could that not be arms of a body? It looks like there's even a feature running around here. I don't even think that's a horseshoe, it isn't, it just resembles one. I think the actual reality of what it was is probably a human form. It's probably arms. And the rest of the body might well have been eroded away, but it's just a speculation. Maybe if I stand here, I can give it some legs. Maybe this is a... well, technically, yeah, kind of works. Sun's dropping down, 7 PM, sunset tonight. It's just beautiful being here. I could come up here and just cook some food, sit, camp. It's so nice to hear nothing but birds and wind. And these environments have always held this, they're just deeply mystical. You can understand why in human creativity we attached so much meaning to these places, you know, before the main monotheistic religions came along, the Abrahamic religions and Christianity, which just steamrolled into these parts of the world and imparted its own belief systems on all of these people that had for perhaps thousands of years created their own attachment to their own understanding of what religion is to them, which was connection to nature. And then Christianity, obviously, basically said, oh no, enough of that. You're not going to believe in the old gods anymore, you're going to believe in ours. And then, yeah, all of those ancient festivals, of which this one today in Mabon was one, were outlawed, and everyone who was practicing them, you know, became labelled as witches and things like that. And they were, as we know, for perhaps another century, they were persecuted, burned at stakes, killed, persecuted, ostracized from everyday life, until everyone started to bow down on the altar of Jesus and God. Again, enough high school level philosophy, I think. I'm just going to sit and just enjoy a bit of peace and quiet here. Well, that was a nice couple of hours. I'm going to head on back now, but I enjoyed it up there, just seeing these mysterious rock carvings that no one really fully understands the meanings behind them. Symbolism, ritual, sacrifice, who knows, it's all speculation, but just to see something there in the middle of a landscape like this that's obviously been there for so long, for thousands of years, and it's still a mystery. And people just obliviously go on past their life, you know, get on through their lives, which is fine and totally understandable, but we have these things just buried in these landscapes like this. Who knows how many more they are, or buried under ferns and grass and God knows what else. But yeah, I might well come back up here in the very early morning, actually. Yeah, right, good luck with that, if I'm going to get out of bed to come up here in the dark. But I might try to, before it starts getting too cold, maybe pick a nice day when I get the sun coming up over the mountains there. But yeah, anyway, very pleasant couple of hours, and lots more of these trips to come. I'm going to get in and around all these sites up through Northumberland, castles, ancient archaeological sites, and just have some fun exploring. Anyway, that's enough for today.